So here's the other half of the Faria Soul dual deck that I made with cards from Legacy Lost. I've got the other two rulers, not Lumia, in the mail, and when I get them, I'm gonna build a pair of decks with those two. And so let's just read Faria, or Faria. I'm gonna call her Faria. I don't know what I'm talking about, so it doesn't matter. Faria. So in the case of Faria, for the ruler side, okay, it's got a judgment of one white, green, just like every other ruler in Legacy Lost. It's just one, and then the two colors in that particular combination. It'd be called a Gilded Magic. It's just called nothing here. It gives you an Energize that's either blue or, that's either white, or green. And then you discard a card with Inheritance. When you discard a card with Inheritance, you draw a card, and you do this only once a turn. That's pretty good because you're going to see that almost every single card in this deck has Inheritance. And Inheritance means, let's just pick a card with Inheritance from the deck, and that'll seal the deal on what it does. Let me see if I can make sure. Let me take this one drop and use it. I think there's only one of this card. Alright, so let's just pick the one drop. Dude, I only have 3. I have 4, but I took one out for other cards that I wanted in the deck. So Inheritance means pay the inheritance cost and discard it to play that ability. Alright? So in this case, target J Resonator gains plus 300, plus 300, and flying. Basically, you're putting this card and adding it to another J Resonator. That's pretty cool. Very interesting. It's Madness. Yeah, that is Madness in Shadows over Innistrad. And in previous old Magic sets. I think Madness came out back in the old frame era. Alright, so there's a one drop, your one drop dork. One casting cost, 300, 300. Then I used to have a playset of this guy, but I took him down to 1. He's got Precision, which I believe is you can hit your opponent directly, or you can hit, I read it in another card, I think it's you can hit a Rested Resonator. Yeah, I think it's you can hit a Rested Resonator. Alright, so the Inheritance for this one is the card itself. Alright, so you pay the casting cost, and some other J Resonator gains plus 500, plus 500, and Precision. So it's a way to concentrate all your resources on a small number of Resonators. That's really the game that you're playing. Now I've got 2 of this guy, and then again, it's the same thing. The Inheritance is the casting cost, and you put this plus 700, 700 on some other card. Very easy to explain once you've seen a couple of them. I put a playset of this card. I've mentioned it in other builds that I've made for this fun little exercise. I would make every single deck have green, and I would make every single deck have a playset of this card, and I would not have everything be a dual stone. I would not have a greedy stone base, or what we call a greedy mana base in Magic. And after I do Judgment, I can get extra stones through this card. This is a fantastic card. It's only a common, which is something that I really like about Force of Will, that they do put very good things on some of the commons. It does happen in every set, in every trading card game, but I think Force of Will does it best, in my opinion. Okay, this thing has Flash, Quick Cast, but it's a chance, so it really means instant. It's an instant. And then you tutor for a Resonator, reveal it and put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. Torrent, you recover up to 1 target Magic Stone. So Torrent is a little bit like Storm in Magic, so if you already played another spell and you play this spell as the second one, then you get to do a Torrent. So this is a very good card. It's only white green. Yeah, and it's a common. It's a lowly common. This card I put also a playset in the deck. And it's got Quick Cast, so it's Flash. You can play it anytime. You can play it instant. Anytime. You can play it on your opponent's turn. throughout the turns. 700, 800, 3-drop. I'm sorry, 4-drop, and you may pay white, green less, so it's only a 2 colorless will. If you cancel the spell your opponent controlled this turn. I'm not sure. So the card that I have in this deck right now that I would call a cancel spell, it effectively does that, but I don't think it doesn't say you cancel the spell. So I put this card in here, but I'm not really using the cancel ability at all, because, and again, I would like to have 4 of this at some point. I have this quick cast chant, but this is really like remand in Magic. So you don't really counter the spell, you don't cancel the spell, you return the spell back to your owner's hand. And of course the torrent is really nice. Your opponent can't play spells this turn. I don't really know. If you know more about Force of Will than I do, I'm not calling this cancel based on reading it, because it doesn't say cancel target spell. And so I don't think I'm using the cancel ability in this card right now. I'd like to. For now, it's just a 4-drop that I get to use in the deck. Okay, so then I have a playset of this dude. It's a 1 white green. And when it enters the battlefield, draw a card. That's great. On any card, that's always fantastic in any trading card game. And it's a 600/600. The inheritance, of course, is the same card. And so you would put this on another J Resonator. You get to draw the card, and the J Resonator would get 600/600. So that would be very nice. I like it a lot. And it's a lowly common, if you can believe that. And then this other common is also, I think it's great. So you tutor, and it's a tutor. It's a 1-drop tutor common. I think it's fantastic. Search your deck for a card, put it into your graveyard. Then shuffle your deck. If the card was awakened, meaning you're going to pay 1 more, then you put it into your hand. Well, most of the time I'm not going to put it into the graveyard. I'm just going to pay 1 green, and I tutor for a card. I think that's fantastic. No wonder green is so incredibly overpowered in Force of Will. I mean, really. Then this card, which I'm very surprised is not worth that much. This is Plummet in Magic, but for 1 less mana, 1 less will. It takes out a flyer. I think this is a great card. I consider it a great pull anytime that I crack Legacy Lost. I guess Wanderer is dead, because I think if Wanderer was not... Okay, let's put it this way. The day when this card is sought after will tell me that Wanderer as a format is happening. Because I don't believe there's any other card that does this in Force of Will. I could be wrong. Or at least that does it for 1 wind stone. Or 1 stone of any color. And you're probably, if you're watching this video, you know more than I do. Tell me otherwise. But I think this is a fantastic card. I always consider it a great pull. And it's an uncommon. I think one of the more versatile uncommons. It takes out a flyer. You need to take out flyers. I need more of this card because it gets tutored with this other card. So the deck, I think, needs more of this card and this card. I keep saying this card, and it also means DIS card, but I mean THIS space card. This card. So search your deck for a Resonator or Edition with total cost X+1 or less and put it into your field, then shuffle your deck. I'm sorry, I was talking about the wrong card. It's a tutor. It's fantastic. You can pick whatever you want to look for. Tutors are awesome. The day we have a commander-like format that really works in Force of Will, all these tutors will be amazing. Which one is the one? Oh, here it is. This is the card. I only have one, and I only have one of this. This card tutors for that card. So, and it's an elf. It's also a 6 sages. Okay, Fight Sing. And it's got quick cast. It's a 2 600/600. It's a secret rare. And of course the inheritance is the same as the card. but it's got something else, which is very interesting. All the inheritances that you saw on the common cards were just the card itself. When this card enters your field, you may return another target resonator you control to its owner's hand. So if you want to hit another ETB again, enters the battlefield, this thing pops it and you hit it again. You're going to have to pay the will, but you're going to get the effect again. So something like, for example, the dude that draws a card when it enters. This guy. Pop it, boom, draw another card. I do that. I do that all day. Then also for the inheritance cost, it gets what this card does. All right. And also, this is interesting. So in this case, the inheritance does something else in addition to stapling what this card is onto another J resonator. Search your deck for a card named this card. Where was it? There. Okay. Which is a mana rock at white-green. Very good. I'd use it all day. Fantastic. And then we're getting down to the final cards in the deck. I only put one of this guy. I'll probably take it out. It's just a big beater. 5 1000 common. Inheritance of whatever the card does. Whenever you do judgment, return this card to its owner's hand. I don't know. That's kind of like not a good thing anyways. Put it in there as a filler. Then I have 2 of this guy. White-green 600. Whenever you play an inheritance ability, this card gains plus 200. And whenever this card deals damage, you gain that much life. So lifelink until end of... Oh, but it's only until end of turn. That's weird. Why would you want to gain that much life until end of turn? Does that mean you lose it? I don't get that. That doesn't make any sense to me. That reads like a mistranslation or something. I don't know. Somebody tell me. I don't really understand that. And then finally, I only have 1 of this card in here. Maybe I should have more. We'll find out. It's an instant 2 white-green. Choose 1 if you control a light resonator and another wind resonator. Choose both. We already saw a card like this. You may put a light or wind resonator with total cost 4 or less from your hand into the field. Or put 4 plus 100 counters on each J resonator you control. That's a nice trick. And if you want to do both, you're paying 4 to cast a 4-drop. And if you want to do both, and you're going to, in this deck, almost everything has the 2 types of will. So there's your deck, and I didn't run out of time, which is great. So I pretty much ran out of time. I didn't discuss a couple of the last few cards well enough. And there you have it. That's my Faria deck. Enjoy.